Arsenal and Chelsea have both continued to make contact with Palmeiras to sign the 17-year-old. Although he could only move to Europe in April next year, the clubs are trying to sign a pre-agreement that would see him move when he turns 18. The Gunners are looking for opportunities to strengthen their squad further. They feel that Willian is someone who can help them in the long term because he has the potential to become a special player. Meanwhile, Chelsea is trying to take the lead in the race. They are willing to offer more than his release clause to win the competition. Willian has a termination clause of 45 million euros. The Blues want to put forward a deal where they would pay 30 million euros up front with add-ons that could take the final value to around 55 euros to 60 million. But the Brazilian club wants to increase the initial fee. They want a situation where 45 million euros is almost a guarantee, even if it is an add-on. More importantly, they want to keep the player until the end of 2025. Chelsea have reportedly made initial contact with Napoli regarding a player plus cash deal involving Romelu Lukaku for Victor Osimhen. The Blues have been heavily linked with a move for the striker in recent years, and the Nigeria international looks set to make the move happen soon. Napoli are reportedly interested in signing Romelu Lukaku in the summer in a swap deal. This latest news should be of concern to Chelsea fans, as they will soon be getting one of the best goal scorers in Europe. Since making a 70 million euros transfer to Napoli from Lille, the Nigeria international has bagged 75 goals in 130 games. One thing Chelsea have lacked for several years is a natural goal scorer, which has resulted in the Blues having to rely heavily on Cole Palmer's goals throughout the season. Of course, Mauricio Pochettino's hope is that Palmer can repeat his 20-goal comeback in the Premier League next season, while also giving the aforementioned Victor Osimhen a chance. Georgia Petrovic believes Chelsea deserves to qualify for the Champions League. When asked if reaching Europe was a success, the ambitious 24-year-old Serbian said, "I can say that. We played a final against Liverpool and we deserved to win it. We also played in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We have a lot of young players and players who are playing at this level for the first time. We are not happy with that. We want to play in the Champions League. We want to take over the Champions League trophy. It's in the history of this club, but I can say it's a success if we play in the Europa League next year." Pochettino has made a confession about Conor Gallagher's future. It has been widely reported in the media that Gallagher is one of the players Chelsea are expected to sacrifice this summer, as the Blues need to raise a large sum of money before the end of June to ensure they do not breach the PSR. As reported by TBR Football earlier this week, the midfielder is increasingly aware that he may have to leave his childhood club due to the lack of new contract offers. Various sources continue to name Tottenham as favourites to land the England international, with Ben Jacobs telling the Tottenham Way podcast a few days ago that he expects the Lily-Whites to complete a deal for the player. Pochettino has now admitted that Chelsea bosses will make the decision regarding Gallagher's future, and he has no say in the matter. When asked about the 23-year-old, the former Tottenham boss said via Fabrizio Romano, "I'm not involved, I don't know anything, but you can see he is in my starting Evison. Gallagher's future is not my decision. This needs to be resolved between the club and Conor." Thiago's wife has slammed reports about her husband's future. Bell has hit out at recent reports claiming the Chelsea defender has made up his mind about his new club. It was confirmed earlier this week that the 39-year-old will leave the club at the end of the season. Despite reports that he would return to Brazil, Bell denied all claims and slammed the reports as undermining a potential move. It was previously reported that Silva had agreed to return to Brazilian giants Fluminense this summer on a 2-year contract. Reports from his home country state that a deal until 2026 has been agreed, but will not be announced until the contract is officially signed out of respect for Chelsea. While it's unclear which report made Bell angry, it was also reported that 3 unnamed London clubs had made offers to her husband. Via Instagram stories to address these rumours, Bell uttered harsh words. According to Fabrizio Romano, Borussia Dortmund will hold talks with Chelsea to determine Ian Maatsen's future. The £35 million prospect has impressed on loan at the Westfalenstadion, and the club will now want to see how far they can go to convince the Blues to make the move. Fabrizio Romano insists Dortmund will open talks with Chelsea about Maatsen's future after this season. There needs to be clarity about what they want, even if the Blues want to sell him permanently. Romano said, "This is very important news for Borussia Dortmund. Why? Of course, they are not only concerned with the Champions League, but also getting fresh money from the competition so they can really attack their two main targets. The first is to keep Jadon Sancho. It's not easy, but Dortmund will meet with Manchester United to find a solution. So let's see what will happen. And then Ian Maatsen. The player is very happy, and he has a £35 million release clause in his Chelsea contract. Talks will take place, and the club will really try to make this happen as well." Amorim refused to rule out talks with Chelsea. Last week, there were several reports revealing that Amorim had flown to London to hold talks with a number of clubs about a possible move to the Premier League, and Chelsea was one of those clubs. But the club have moved quickly to deny the rumours, with the Telegraph's Matt Law reporting that the West Londoners are adamant that they are not paying for Amorim's flights to London. When asked about the rumours, Amorim told reporters, "Everything that needs to be said has been said. You've already created your theory. I do not have problem. You stick to your ideas. I won't say why I went to London. I've told the people who need to know, especially sporting director Hugo Viana. I will keep going. I saw that Vitoria boss Alvaro Pacheco was also having problems with dinner recently. I think it has become fashionable to talk about coaches or talk about clubs that sack coaches, and then the next day you link another club. I tried to be honest with you, but then there was a soap opera made saying that I offered myself to another club, which was actually funny to see. I try to be sincere with everyone. There are situations where we try to go out the front door and not go through the things we have gone through again. There are also things to think about, such as whether I want to change my life, the ages of my children, and so on. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible here. But I guarantee when I leave, it will be much more boring. What the fans expected from me until then was the same as always. I love this club. I have always done my best for the club, and that will continue. I have a contract, and I will continue to coach Sporting." Cole Palmer was outstanding during his first season in London. One of the best players in the Premier League, Cole Palmer signed for Chelsea this summer for £40 million from City. The signing was a bit of a gamble, but it paid off, with the 21-year-old scoring 21 goals and registering 9 assists in 31 league games.